All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, like I was saying, even your peers in 2A, this is 2B or 2A. Yeah, 2B, 2A, they were very quiet. They were very attentive when they were here because I could remember my students, when you speak to them, they listen, right? Okay, like as I was saying, a business, no matter how big it is, it starts from the point, right? It starts from a point, from an idea, right? Coca-Cola that we are drinking today all over the world, it started from an idea, right? When you look at Bokomo, Bokomo started from an idea, somebody having an idea. What if I do this? What is going to happen, right? So, what you are trying to say here in this context is that when you've got an idea, it's not all ideas that are really a good business idea. You know about it, right? When you got an idea, a business idea, you need to screen it. You screen, right? To screen it, to be able to determine if that idea is something that is really viable. I want to use the term now, viable. Viable or viability in terms of you making money from the business, right? Because there is no point you got a business and you running around for people, you are not making profit, right? For example, now if you got an idea of selling airtime, you know airtime, 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 you cannot make money out of that. The whole world can be buying from you. But what I'm trying to say is that such a business are not profitable. So what you need to do is this: when you got an idea, you must screen the idea, you must go out and find from your customer, establish from your potential, let me call it potential customers, look at what exactly what they need, right? You want to start a business, don't just start a business all of a sudden. Go out there and do your research. Remember, we say one of the causes of business failure is not doing the research, right? Okay. So you must do out a research, right? You go out there to ask, try to establish the needs and wants of your potential market. Once you are able to do that, I'm telling you, you got to go, right? I want to start selling food to students of West Coast College Atlantis campus. I cannot just from my home start making food, bringing it here. Like I explained to you, if I present to you, you say, not for me. Then I present it to the other, not for me. Are you not for me? I will look like somebody that is foolish. You see, perhaps I've used money to prepare the food. Then it's gonna go waste, right? And what I had wanted to achieve will not be achieved. I will not be making money, right? Where is the problem coming from? Because I didn't do my research. I didn't do my homework to establish what exactly do they want, right? Magunya wants to come to my mind now. Just aside from what I'm saying now, I went to, you see, Magunya now is getting global now, or is getting a lot of people are buying Magunya these days. Né? The Magunya, there is a chicken mayo Magunya now. Chicken mayo. I saw it. How much is it? 30 rand. Yeah, chicken mayo Magunya. Yeah, you got it. I had wanted to buy it. I had wanted to taste it. But I told myself that it's too oily. That was why I didn't buy it. Yeah, you got it. You see. So you need to do your research, right? You can use different methods, right? To obtain, what is it? What do we mean by doing research? To obtain information from your target market. You can do it in different ways, right? Hello, sit properly. You can do it in different ways. One, you can do one-on-one interview. You can do one-on-one interview. Come into him or say, this is what I want to say. Pose questions, then respond. Right? You can organize what we call a focus group. You know what is a focus group? Put 5 people together, then I pose questions to them. They respond, I note it, I moderate it. Because when you are organizing a focus group, you must be careful. There are some people that might be talkative. They like to talk. So if you have that kind of person among your focus group, you don't moderate that person, you will not be able to get opinions from others. That person will dominate throughout, which is not good because you want to hear the opinion of others, right? That you can use that system, or you can use an observation. For example, you walk into a place, you see the way they are buying pattern. Oh, they like this style. They like to buy this. Then that one can inform you in terms of what to provide them. You see what I mean? Okay. Now you can go by the method of questionnaire, using a questionnaire. How does it work? You take a piece of paper, if you're going to do it manually, you put some questions there that interest you, questions you know that once you are able to obtain answers to those questions, you analyze it, it can provide you enough data, information. Let me use information for you to be able to make an informed decision as to whether to provide the product or service. Right. These days, you can administer questionnaire manually, right? Or in a digital form. Right. Manually, you just design, you type it, then you print out, then you distribute it. Right. The one that is digital, you use computer to design it, you email it. We even have certain software these days, right? Whereby you can utilize it. You can utilize those software to design your questionnaire. You click, you send the link to people, then they answer it. They will respond. And once they respond to it, you collect the answer. There are certain software these days. They can even do preliminary analysis for you. They will tell you how many people say yes, how many people say no. They represent it visually in form of a pie chart or a bar chart and all those type of stuff. It's very interesting, right? So from there you can be able to decide, on what to do. So going by doing a questionnaire is not as easy as it is being mentioned, right? The process is not easy. You need to plan for it. Otherwise, you end up administering your questionnaires and at the end of the day, not realizing your objectives. Do you understand what I mean? You need to plan very well. Plan carefully. How does it go? The first thing is, or rather, the first point of departure is for you to set your objectives. What am I going to achieve by doing this questionnaire? Right? I want to know if they will be what product or service they will be interested for me to provide. I want to know their level of income, if they can afford it. I want to know their buying pattern, their buying behavior. No, you set your objectives. Based on your objective, you design your questions. Does it make sense to you? Based on your objectives, what you want to achieve, then you align your questions to your objectives. Then, when you finish designing the questionnaire, you test it. You test it. You don't just start giving it out to people. Perhaps the language you use in framing your questionnaires might not be eloquent enough or might not be articulated enough. Why I use that language articulation, it might be unclear. People don't understand what you are trying to ask. Sometimes it does happen. It doesn't mean that you don't know how to write. You see, because what is in my mind is different from what is in your mind, in another person's mind, right? So when you've done with the questionnaires, you need to test it. How do you test it? Right? You must make sure that you distribute it to maybe 5 or 10 people to test it. Right. After that, what do you do? You collect it. Right. Check if the system is still working because I had a phone call. Got it? Is it still working? Okay. Right. So you distribute it among your peers, maybe 5 to 10 people. Then you collect it back. You want to see if they really understand the type of the way you frame your question. When you collected it, you see that they responded nicely, and it's exactly what you want. So good. Now I can scale it, scale it up. You know what I mean by scaling it up? Now you can give it to a large number of people, a larger number of people. Right. What if when you collected the questionnaires, you discovered that the responses they are giving is awkward, right? It's not up to your expectations. Perhaps the way you frame your questions, then you have to amend it. That is what we are saying here. You amend the questionnaires, right? Having done that, the next stage is for example, you are doing a research that covers a large population. That covers a large population. For example, let's say it's something that has to do with the whole student of West Coast College. The whole student of West Coast College. We got a lot of students at West Coast College. And remember that we got how many campuses? Are you aware of? 5 campuses. There's one campus far away. I've been here for the past 16 years. I don't even know the campus. Is it not funny? It's, no, it's 5. You know Frendenda? I haven't been to Frendenda. No, it started here. Yeah. Frendenda, I've been here for the past 16 years. I don't even know that place. You know. Okay, if I'm to do a survey whereby I need to distribute questionnaires up to that extent, you imagine that it's not easy, right? Okay. What am I going to do? Hello? Focus, focus. Because I can't go to Fred and I. Fred and I is very far, right? But I want to know the perception of West Coast College regarding what I want to provide. And mind you, I want to provide it to all the whole students in West Coast College as my target population. So what I will do is I will take a sample, a small segment of students of West Coast College. I can use Atlantis, right? Perhaps combine it with Mamesbury. Then, hello, focus. Now, using Atlantis and Mamesbury constitute a sample, right? Then I will distribute the questionnaires to the sample segment or the sample of the population, which in this case is student Atlantis campus and the Mamesbury. That is what we call sample. Sample is a small representation of the larger population. Do you understand the concept? The difference between population and sample, right? So then you select a sample, you conduct the research, right? You distribute, administer the questionnaire, you collect back the questionnaire, then you sit at your table, right? Then you analyze it. You present a report, right? Your report should include sometimes, or in most cases, visual representation, visual, pie chart, and all those kind of stuff. That when people see it, they can be able to comprehend easily without uh, much difficulty. Right? That is what we are talking about. Then, okay, we've done this already. Promotion of products. Okay. Now let's talk much about this. Techniques used for promotion. Techniques used for promotion. Promotion is something that is very important as far as business is concerned. Yeah, remember I told you, when you got a business, you lock it up in your briefcase. Will people know what you are doing or what you are selling or what type of services or products that you can offer? Nobody will know. You need to take Vuvuzela by yourself and blow the Vuvuzela. Do you know Vuvuzela? Most of it, 2010, Vuvuzela was during the World Cup. A lot of countries they learn from there. They never knew about Vuvuzela before. So most of them they bought and went home with to their respective country. And they, huh? Ask this Vuvuzela. Okay, you use it to watch soccer. That's great. Yeah. So when I say Vuvuzela in this context, is to go out there and create awareness. Awareness is very important. You understand what I mean? Sometimes there are certain things that you are capable of, right? You so most of the time we tend to undermine ourselves. But when you showcase it, people say, man, this thing is good, right? This thing is good. Then you discover that you start making money. Do you understand? It's the same thing when you got offering services that you want to offer. If you don't go out to showcase yourself, nobody will know what you can do. Nobody know your capabilities. Do you understand? So promotion can be done in different ways, right? Several techniques can be employed in the promoting the product or service of a business. One we can talk about is personal selling. Do it yourself, right? You do it yourself. Don't wait for anybody. You can move from one person to the other. Then you convince them, right? I've got this type of stuff often. It can help you to solve this type of problems. But when you are doing your personal selling, your market, don't talk lies. You need to embrace that value of Ubuntu, right? Don't tell somebody that this product can do something of such for you, and at the end of the day, it's a blatant lie. You mustn't do that, right? Be factual. If somebody asks you, can I use this product for this problem, to solve this problem or this particular problem? If it cannot solve the problem, just talk the truth. Say, my sweetheart, this one, you can't use this, right? But this is what this one can do for you. Do you understand what I mean? Perhaps personal selling it goes in different form. You see some people taking phone calls, calling call centers most often, right? We call it unsolicited calls. Unsolicited. Unsolicited. Yeah, unsolicited calls. You didn't solicit for such calls. And in most cases, those calls are nuisance. They disturb people. I think in South Africa now there is a law that is they are trying to introduce that we prohibit call centers from calling people numbers anyhow. There's a law coming on the way. Watch out, right? People calling people randomly. You understand what I mean? But what they're doing, they are doing promotion. Sometimes they will tell you insurance. There was one that called me the other day talking about insurance for car. I said, my dear, unfortunately, I got no car. Something of that nature. Right. You can do that. Then sales promotion. Sales promotion is another way. You organize sales, right? You, for example, sometimes you walk into some of these retail shop, you see them, they got a big table with certain items, perhaps with reduced prices. What do you think they are doing? They mark the price down. They're promoting those stuff. They want to get rid of those stuff. Perhaps those stuffs are slow moving products, slow moving. People are not buying. So how would they get rid of those products? They need to promote it. Sales. Does it make sense to you? Right. Sometimes you say they say 50% off. Then we say, oh, start money, man. This is a good deal. You know, there was one day I went, not only one time or two times, I went into a shop. The guy told me, hey, this one, this price, it was this price before. Now is this. I said, my friend, I said, this is psychological. Do I know the previous price? It's not the same person that put the price that's telling other that is still saying the price is 50% down. How will I know? Perhaps it was the same price, or someone, you know what they do? I went the other day, was it a click? Yeah, to buy shaving stick, right? I look at the price. They put a kind of a label there, 20% off. When I look at the price, I said, this is the same price I'm buying this in click. Now, I said, I want to make a short, just a brief noise there. Don't want to talk too much. Then I took the stuff. I went to the till. I said, how much is this? He said, what is this? 20% off. I said, this price you are selling this. So it's already discounted. And she said, yes. I said, this is the same price me, I'm buying it. Where is the discount? Then I laugh. I said, you see, working on people's psychology. I said, I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to discount. Something of that nature. But all are in the name of promotion. Right. Okay. Now, samples. Samples. For example, perfume. Right. You see, they put small quantity in a small bottle. Right. To create appetite for people. They will tell you, taste it, right? They will give you that small bottle. Now you're gonna be happy. Say, this is for you. Take it home, right? Now, when you perhaps you use it, you smell it nice. Now, when you walk into the room, your sweetheart is telling you, where did you get this? Then it can perhaps help you to make an informed decision whether to buy it or not to buy it. But the bottom line is they are promoting their sales. It's not only perfume, we got it in several forms. The launches, you know how launches, how it works, right? You can go to public areas, for example, in the taxi rank. Personally, I've seen this many times. You see people, well, for example, those days they want to launch their music. You see, that thing is gradually fading away now. You know why? Because of this YouTube and all this TikTok. Things are really changing, eh? Because for quite a long time now, I haven't been seeing people doing that. What they used to do is that if, let's say, you release record music or whatever, right? So they used to come to taxi rank, right? They will be playing it, then the cassette will be there. You listen to it. If you are interested, then you buy one. All those are launches and all those kind of stuff. You can launch in another form whereby you invite a lot of people. Then you bring out the product that you got. You can as well do that. For example, opening of shops, right? I remember when Macro, when it opened in table view. Is it table? No, yeah. Minatin. Yeah. I went there. I bought a laptop with a projector like this, 5,000 rand. Where can you get it? They discounted the whole prices. They were launching it because they were opening for the first time. That was 2011. A whole laptop with a projector. I was using the projector to teach my students. That time there was no projector here in the college. I was one of the first people that started using projector to teach in the classroom. Even when I started, they didn't like it. They said students will be bored. I must be writing for them on the board so that they copy down. But gradually, here you see where we are today. Everything is digital. Right. Okay. Then exhibition. What do we mean by exhibition? Exhibition, it works like this, right? It's a kind of an event whereby, yeah, you got a big space or whatever, it could be indoor or outdoor. You see companies coming to showcase their products, right? These days, it's very common in CTICC. How many of you know CTICC, Conference Center? You must go there. Even if you even if you got nothing doing there, walk around there. Even the environment itself, you look at the environment and you breathe in. The type of air that you breathe in there is different. Huh? No, sometimes you don't pay money to walk in. Jonga, you don't pay money to walk in there. Huh? The air. No, you don't pay for the air. You see, you see the environment is neat, well taken care of, and the way people behave there, you know how to. It's a very clean environment. Every time they do exhibition there, companies they come there to showcase their product, right? People come in as visitors, right? Focus, focus, focus. People comes in there as visitors. Even yourself, I've gone there. Say, oh, where's the picture? I'll show you the picture that I snapped from there. Last time I went there, right? There were companies from China and all those kind of stuff. Even yourself can from there make a contact. Yeah, it's good. Then publicity, which information from the media. This publicity is based on your own performance of your business. Right. There is what we call, there's a difference between public relation and publicity. PRO, you pay for it to speak good of you. Right? Publicity, you don't pay somebody to speak good of you. Based on your performance, then your information gonna spread around. Right? Like a wildfire in the dry bush. Right. Then is the period over? Almost. Okay. We still have few. Guys, let's talk about this because I didn't talk about this in the previous class. Guys, listen. For you to be able to promote, you need to, okay. As part of promotion, you need to advertise, right? You know what I mean? These days now is come. Did you see? When you look at the list here, did you see TikTok here to tell you that this note is old, right? The textbook we are using is old. There is no TikTok here now. There is no TikTok. There is no Facebook. There is no YouTube. Huh? Okay, we can say website. We can say no company website. You see, not YouTube. Right. Yeah. But what I'm saying is we can also, when they ask you in the exam, you can add to it, right? To reflect to this trend. Right. Television, you advertise on television. To advertise on television is very expensive. And it still depends on the slot, right? Then the radio, you advertise on radio. People, a lot of people doesn't listen, but it depends on your target market. If you are targeting people, old people, or people with no, I don't call them old people. I call them people with much wisdom, right? So yeah, you can advertise through the radio. Flyers was very common those days. Not anymore, right? Yeah. Newspapers, ooh, newspaper can work. I remember my wife used to advertise in one of these local newspaper, Vukaya. You know Vukaya is a Kairisha, right? Newspaper. You go West Coast, right? You go to West Coast here. Okay, got impact. Then magazines, this one is much more, it's a bit expensive to advertise in magazines. Then websites, you can add TikTok, right? Your YouTube, your Facebook, and all those stuff. Social media, in short, right? Let's classify it like that. Social media. Then signs, the signboard, the billboard, billboard. Guys, you know billboard. Okay, all of you, you know what is billboard. Okay, yeah, but this thing is very expensive, man. To advertise on billboard is very expensive. I remember I went to a parent meeting at Bloomberg High. That man said he used to get a revenue of almost 70,000 rand a year from billboard. Yeah, money is expensive. You know, a flash of FMB. There was a time we had a business 2001, and that business premise, there was a flash. I went to FMB to pay for that flash. That time they said they could only pay me 250 rand a month. I said it's too small, right? I rejected. They said if you don't want to take that, we better remove the flash sign because we are not even getting a lot of customers from that stuff. But what I'm trying to say is those things can generate money, right? They pay for it. Then posters, right? You can use posters and stationaries and all those stuff. So tomorrow we're gonna start from here. Designing an advertisement. Guys, remember to advertise is expensive, right? You wouldn't like to take chances. You must make sure that you design it in such a way that you can be able to achieve your objectives. So that this is what we call for a good advertisement. It must have this follow these principles, right? Acronym, which is ADA. A is for attention, I is for interest, D desire, A for action. So guys, right. Yeah, so it must contain the following traits, which are very important. I think let me see. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that next week. Yeah. So promotional ideas best suited to a small business. Guys, is the period over? Okay, we are going to start from here tomorrow. Right. Yeah. I will upload the video for you tonight. Right, right. Okay, okay. That's great. Okay. Assessment. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right.